Yeah. Welcome to Why Are You Inc., Young and Rich University, a platform designed to educate people in a step-by-step process, not only to get a lot of information or to get results in your life. So you can change your financial situation and you too can retire young, retire rich. Today we're talking to Craig Campbell. Craig, how you doing?
I'm doing well, doing well. Glad to be here. Long time coming. We've known each other for such a long time. But it's good to be
Yes.
here.
Excellent, excellent. So I reached out to Craig. I saw Craig post some a few videos on Facebook, and I reached out to Craig. I said, Craig, what are you doing? Trying to steal my job?
Not really. Yeah,
Craig says, not really. He's enhancing the community. He's giving
that's
them a
right.
different view, a different perspective on businesses and different perspective on finances and money and how they view money. So I said, Craig, I got to get you on the podcast. We got to have a conversation so people can hear, the people of my network, your network can hear what you have to offer and how you can better help them, help their situation.
hmm
So Craig, what lead you into becoming a financial coach?
Great question. Actually goes back many years, because when I was in university, I started to study about finances. I was, coming out of high school and, I saved up and got myself a nice Cavalier, and I was so proud of myself. And then I'm walking through the parking lot of York University. I saw these other people with BMWs and Mercedes. I'm like, what happened to me? What's wrong with me? Why do I just got this Cavalier Z24? I started to learn about mutual funds and investing and those kinds of things. And eventually I got my license and I became a financial advisor.
Nice.
I was doing that for about 7 or 8 years just after university. But the problem was, whether I met people making 40,000, 50,000, even had household incomes of 200,000, they were still broke, because it's just a matter
Wow.
of toys, a matter of how they spent their money, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's something called Parkinson's Law, and I really learned about this when I had to break Parkinson's Law. And Parkinson's Law says you basically spend your money to the level of income that you make. So when you're making $30,000, you're
Mm-hmm.
thinking, a Honda Civic, good car for me, right? You're making
Right.
80,000. Oh, I don't want a Honda Civic now. Now I want a BMW. Okay. And now I'm making 120,000. Well, now I have to have a Range Rover. So your toys and your spending keeps going up to where your expenses are. And that's
Right.
what I found in my life. So when I was investing with people, mutual funds and doing insurance and those kinds of things, I recognized they still needed some help in terms of their mindset, managing their money, their budgeting and all those kinds of things. But I wasn't paid to do that. So I'd have to
Right.
kind of leave them. So fast forward a few years, I've been sort of doing I stopped doing financial advising for it's about 7 or 8 years. But I
Mm-hmm.
would work with certain people privately, to kind of help them with their budgeting, their debt management, their investing, and those kinds of, just giving them little tips. And
Yeah.
I decided, you know what, because I've always had this altruistic nature, I thought, you know what, maybe I can roll this out and do it for the public at large. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I started to do in the last couple of years. And especially lately, I started to push it more publicly, to do financial coaching and really help people's mindset, help them one-on-one with my coaching, but also the different courses I've created to help them really get to the next level and beyond.
So your program, is it designed for individual or business owners or both?
Individuals and business owners, because when you have individuals, they have a regular paycheck and so on, so they can standardize their budget and things like that. When you're a business owner, as you know, your income is going all over the place. It's
Right.
fluctuating all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes need even more guidance, right? To be able
Right.
to manage things, because, how much money should I put it back into my business? How much should I take to spend? How much should I put to write off? So I basically work with individual and entrepreneurs, business owners as well.
Excellent. So what I get from what you're thinking, that you're there to fill the gap of the organization of the person finances that the typical financial advisor won't normally give them.
That's exactly right. A lot of financial advisors, I work with them, so I'm not putting
Right.
them out of business, not putting them under shade or under the bus in any
Right.
way. But their job is to really put you in a vehicle, an insurance product, an investment product. But
Right.
in terms of the one-to-one coaching, that's not something they're really geared to do. And of course, when I look at it, is I think of, and it's a video actually I've actually created. I'm going to post it very soon.
Nice.
When you think of legal, right, you can go through the research and do all the different things on your own. But if you have a lawyer, you're going to get the results so much faster, and because he's or she are going to know things that you don't know.
Right.
When you're sick, you go to a doctor. When you want to lose weight or get into shape or get bigger muscles, you get a personal coach, right?
Right.
To help you get through. So that's what I am. I'm doing the same kind of things. But once you get to that point where you need to be, then of course, here's a mortgage broker I recommend. Here's a financial advisor recommend. Here's a guy that I know is versed on real estate. You need to get into real estate right away. Here's a guy, Frank Corbin, you can speak to be able to do that. But if you just say, hey, I heard something, I heard about this investment, I heard about this real estate deal, let me get into it. In many cases, you're not ready for it, right? You think you are, but your finances, your credit, like all those things are in shambles. So I can kind of help guide you to where you need to be, make a customized financial plan for you, and then move you on to where you need to be to get to that place financially.
Excellent. Sounds good. So, as a financial coach, is there a special license you need to become a financial coach, or how makes you qualify to be a financial coach?
Well, that's a great question. There are different licenses you can get. And I've taken different coaching courses and so on in licensing. But because I had my licensing before, and probably will be getting my license again for insurance just to have it, right? Because some
Right.
people like to see, you have something on paper. I let it
Right.
expire. I'll get it again. But all the different things that I'm teaching and doing are just things that not only I've done for my clients when I was an advisor, but most importantly, things I've done for myself. And I've
Nice.
got a
Right.
lot of different success from the things and the strategies I applied for myself and my family and my friends. So all
Yeah.
I'm doing is sharing what I've done over the past 20 years to my new clients.
Excellent. Excellent. Oftentimes, people, and this for folks who might be having a business idea out there, or having a concept in your head that you think you need to apply. Oftentimes, people think you need to be institutionally trained
That's
to have
very
a
true.
voice
Very
for
true.
yourself and your community, or voice, or to have a voice for your group or whatever following you have. Most times you don't. You just need to understand what you're doing and passionate enough to make sure the people you work with get the results. So even
Absolutely.
though I might ask people, Craig, and many others, what qualify them to be a financial advisor or a financial coach, or any form of educating a person on better life, whether it's fitness or health, whatever it is, you don't normally need any formal institutional license.
It's
If
true.
you're a person that's in tune to people, you can figure it out.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
And that's a great point, because again, that's kind of where I got into, because I've always liked to help people. I've met people, even just the other day, I just went to, change the tires for my car. And I'm sitting in the waiting room, waiting for my car. There's another gentleman that came in, and I just saw him just sitting there, just kind of shaking his head. It's like, you doing all right? It's like, yeah, just everything costs so much. Like I didn't expect this to be this much money and that much money, and it's just stressful. And I just have that conversation. I didn't pitch him. I didn't pitch him and say, hey, I can help you. Having a conversation. But I
Yeah.
recognize these kind of conversations are happening right across Canada, right across the US. But
Mhm.
a lot of it is not people. I guess the economy is hard, right?
Right.
Inflation is high. Interest rates are high, and all those things.
Mhm.
A lot of us have a spending problem, right? And prioritizing our spending. I mean, think about everything I just said. Think about how right now the food banks are in crisis. They don't
Yeah.
like to use that word, but they said crisis.
Mhm.
But just last week, we had this singer, you might have heard of her before, Taylor Swift. She was in
Sold
town,
out.
and she not only sold out, 6 concerts sold out. You're talking about 50,000 people per show.
Nice.
So you don't have money for food, you don't have money for a car, you don't have money for rent or mortgage,
But you
but
got to
at
see
least
Taylor.
300,000 people spent thousands of dollars to go to the concert.
Good for Taylor, though. Good
Good for
business.
her. Good for her. I mean, I applaud her, right?
Yes.
Applaud her. But that's my point, right? A lot of us are
Yeah.
just spending our money wrongly,
Mhm.
improperly, not
Yes.
efficiently, as opposed to I just don't have any money, the economy's hard, right?
Mhm.
So there's a little bit of both. There's not one or the other, right? And
Yeah.
that's the kind of things I like to delve into.
Excellent. So, in your approach to financial coaching a person or a self-employed person, a business individual, as a company or a person,
Mhm.
um, do you go from a budgeting perspective? Do you go from debt management? Do you go for retirement planning? What approach you carry? Because often we find, the reason I'm asking, often we find people who like saving normally don't like making a lot of money, and people who make a lot of money don't like saving. So,
Yes.
what approach? What is your coaching style when you meet an individual?
My coaching style really is several steps. And the first thing is to do an assessment. Just find out where they are. When you think of your finances right now, Miss Customer, Mr. Customer, client, whatever,
Mhm.
what is your single biggest issue? Is it not having enough money? Is it debt? Is it just I'm an impulse buyer? Like what's the issue? So we kind of assess where they are. And the
Mhm.
first thing I go through, of course, is making a budget. And not only is it making a budget in terms of putting everything down, right, in terms of what they're spending and what they're bringing in, but also allocating the percentages, right? A lot of people are spending too much of their money like on wants, for example, versus
Right.
needs.
Mhm.
So I allocate with a budget. I have a customized budget that actually allocates and puts money into different buckets. And you want to make sure you're in the specific percentages, right? That are right for you. And once you have an idea of where your budget is, now I start to talk about different, what I call a 30-day challenge, right?
Uh,
And a 30-day challenge is basically go for 30 days, and I want you to track your money, all of your spending, whether it
that
be
sounds that
cash.
sounds that sounds painful, Craig.
It can be, but when I work with you, I make it much better. I make it much
Absolutely.
easier. But I also give different rewards, like let's see how many days you can go through without spending
Mhm.
anything.
Yeah.
Let's see if you can get 1 day, 2 days without spending any money. And just for 30 days, just for 30, you don't have to do it for the rest of your life, just for 30
Yeah.
days, then we can really allocate and compare that 30-day period over the budget we just created and see where the disparities are. And then we can have a really good plan to go forward.
So when you go through this 30-day challenge with people,
Yeah.
and let's go with a couple of them who are successful. How do they feel after?
Oh my goodness. Like it's not only do they feel happy, that most of the time they're blown away. It's like I'm spending this much money on alcohol. I'm spending this much money on TV. I don't need that super duper Rogers VIP package. I'm spending
Right.
over $200 a month and I watch TV twice a week,
Yeah.
right? Once they realize, they're just like, oh my goodness. Like I'm complaining, I've been complaining. I go to the barber shop, I go to the grocery store. I'm complaining all the time I don't have enough money. And look how much money I have now. The same money
Right.
I've been making. I didn't get a raise. I didn't get another income stream and I have all this money. So they're ecstatic once they realize it.
Nice,
It's
nice.
amazing.
That's very good, and it's very good because I can just imagine if you haven't do any extra, you haven't asked them to do any part time job or any
Nope,
extra work or any extra business.
nope.
It's just taking your existing income, and as you
Yep,
said, if you manage it well, just for 1 month, 30 days, you see the amount of money that Craig would afford you to save in your pocket, and I think just that alone is inspiring to a person to continue moving forward to keep doing it. But
exactly.
I can tell you this from the initial conversation, when you hear a 30-day challenge, it sounds like your life about to be over.
It's like, oh no, I know. But we start in quick steps. So like once we do the budget, for example, so I have
Right.
actually an ebook which I'll send to all of the users, if you contact me, or not the listeners, I should say, that contact
Yeah.
me. And
Hmm.
it actually has 5 different steps that help you make what we call an unshakable budget. Because
Right.
most people, when it comes to budgeting, it's like, I'm not interested. I'm not good at budgeting. It's
Right.
too hard. It's too restrictive. So I try to make a little, couple fun ways to make it not seem as hard, but let's kind of shows you just how instrumental it can be to helping with your financial success. It's the foundation of your success. And then after
Excellent.
you do it, and once you have a good mindset with it, you don't really have to budget anymore, so to speak. You know where to allocate your money each and every month.
Excellent. Folks, we're talking to Craig Campbell, who's a financial coach from the Good Money Skills Company. And he's worked with you in a step by step process towards securing your finances, managing finances, and also fast tracking your financial investment as
That's right.
well. So, Craig, if these guys want to get a hold of you, how do they contact you?
Well, real easy. So it's Craig. If you're looking at the screen here, I got an E on the end. My mom wanted me to be special, I guess, and stand out. So it doesn't normally have an E. It's not a mistake. So
Right.
it's Craig at goodmoneyskills.com is my email. You can also go to my website, which is goodmoneyskills.com. And I'm also on YouTube and Instagram under the same name, Good Money Skills. Yeah,
Goodmoneyskills.com, Craig at goodmoneyskills.com.
that's
There you
right.
go, folks. And if they want access to the ebook, is there a cost for the ebook? Is it free? What's the process to getting access to the ebook?
The ebook is absolutely free, so you can go to my website and just sign up for it. It's called the 5 Steps to Unshakable Budget,
Mm-hmm.
or you can just email me and I can send you a copy. But there's absolutely no cost to it, and also consultation. Like I do one-on-one consultation for 30 minutes, and there's no cost for that. Right? We just have a conversation. We kind of just talk about where you are, where you want to be, and see if it makes sense for us to work together. Right, but
Right.
there's no cost to that, and I do that for free as well. For
30 minutes consultation.
That's right.
And what is your coaching style? Is it in person, online, or both?
Great question. Yeah, it's actually both. So I usually do Zoom because some people are, of course, are like all over the city. But there are
Mhm.
many times I will do in person. I have actually in person meeting just next week that I'm meeting
Nice.
with somebody because they don't live in the city. So we're going to meet halfway and do something.
Right.
But absolutely, like I try to work within your schedule, and there's a booking calendar on my website as well. So you can just book a time that works for you, and
Excellent.
I can meet with you, or we can do it by Zoom. Either way.
Excellent. And folks, some of you lazy people don't want to get off your lazy ass. Said you
I
like the
know.
Zoom stuff.
I
Let
know.
me tell you something. I remember clearly. I was 19 years old. I and always remember this. When I talk about financial and financial investment, this man walked into my door with a briefcase on a
Hmm.
Saturday morning and sit at my dad's dining table to discuss money.
Hmm.
Financial advice. Never forget that. And that grabbed my attention. This guy was dressed to the T. You know, financial advisors guys, they wear
Oh
the suit.
yeah,
And,
got the
yeah,
tie, got the
the
suit.
tie,
Man.
and everything clean.
Yeah, yeah.
And had a briefcase. And I thought that was so amazing. And just from that look, the image alone would inspire me to start looking at money seriously and differently.
Hmm.
So if you want to do over Zoom and all that kind of stuff, bring the financial people into your house. Let your kids see it.
Hmm.
Sometimes not for you. We understand you. We get your kids. You might be inspiring one of your child to see, I want to dress like Craig. I want to look like Craig. Why does this guy look so important? What is he really saying?
Hmm.
Okay. These things get children attention. Okay. Because I want to, this guy just so sharp. He had a nice car. He had a briefcase and he had a glass. And he come over when he came to sit at the dining table, he took his glasses off and he cleared it off. And there you go. That's the guy right there. so,
Okay.
so I didn't know what he was talking about. I was 19 years of age. He's talking to my dad, and my dad says, "Come and hear what this guy have to say." You know, he talking about money, and I thought that was very different. So, I mean, if the distance is too far for some of you, I mean, you work technology because, of course, it's better to start than
Yeah,
not start.
yeah.
But if you could make it in person, and I always think money conversation at the dining table makes a better financial impact than any form of this stuff here.
No, I agree. I agree. It's especially since COVID. I mean, we did everything. You know this. We did
Mhm.
everything
Yeah.
face to face. And even
Right.
like when we were younger, we just roll up to somebody's house. It's like, I'm in the neighborhood. How you doing? Ding dong. You just walk in.
Mhm.
But especially over COVID, we kind of just pull back and we do everything remotely. Some people now won't even take a job unless there's a remote capability, right?
Right. Mhm.
But I really do believe in face-to-face meetings, especially for people that are serious.
Yes.
And but
Yes.
you use the technology when you need to. Like, I can't
Absolutely.
be in your studio right now. And of course,
Right.
we're doing it
Of
this way,
course.
but that's
Yep.
fine.
Mhm.
Um, but I think, when it comes to financial matters, a lot of people have shame, right? I don't make as much as this person. I'm the same age and they're doing so much better than me. So I don't really want to talk about it. I want to really share my information. I'll just continue to do things and hopefully maybe I'll win the lottery. Maybe things will just magically change, right? But sometimes we have to sit back and say, you know what? I'm serious. I don't like where I am. I know I'm smarter than this. I know I could make more money. I know I can do better financially. I knew my net worth can be a little bit better. Let me meet with
Right.
somebody. Let me talk with somebody. Let me meet down and sit down with someone that really cares about my financial well-being. And
And,
that's honestly why I got into this.
and talking about shame, folks, the most shameful thing is to be in a situation for years. I know that Craig could have given you one tip that
One,
could have changed your financial situation. One tip.
yeah,
Okay. And that could just be me having a conversation on one-on-one. And he says, hey, why don't you just do this?
yeah,
And you been living in shame for that same thing for years and years and costing your family thousands of dollars because you're making poor financial decision
absolutely true.
or not making any financial decision at all.
Absolutely
Okay.
true.
Now, I always tell folks, and this is why we have this platform. We have a lot of professionals in our community of diversify information that can help us.
Hmm.
Fool to be you who's not maximizing that.
It's true. True.
Okay. So we can't say, I don't know anybody anymore.
No.
Or I don't know. The information is there. The people are there. The professionals there. And this platform is designed to bring them on here so they can discuss what they do
Hmm.
and how they can help you.
Hmm.
Okay. So now, Craig, I sign on with you as a client.
Yes.
We go through the budgeting
Yes.
and you understand, or I understand where I'm lacking financially. What's the next step? How often do we meet? How often do we conversate? What's the process of your coaching style?
I would like what we do is to meet on a weekly basis, right?
Mhm.
Because if it's going to be too long, because I want to give you homework. Once we have our first meeting, I'm giving
Yeah.
you work to do. So I
Nice.
want to be able to talk about it and see your progress by the next week. So if I say, let's meet in a month or two, you've lost the momentum. It's not going to work. So I like
Mhm.
to do it each week. And then each week I have a different format, a different strategy in which we're working on. So there has to be progression. So timing, of course, is also based on the person because some people are like, you know what, every week is maybe too much or my week is really crazy. It's like, okay, but I'm telling you what my process is. If you're serious
Right.
about it, here's what we're going to do. And the other part of it is I usually have like maybe a 6-week program for people.
Mhm.
Some people want to go longer than that. Some people it's like, you know what, 2 or 3 sessions, I'm good. I'll try to do as much as I can in those sessions. But 6 weeks is generally the term. And then after that, then we just have little check-ins. Like I'll check in with email and text message just to make sure they're on point. And of course, like I said, I have my different courses. So even when I'm not around, there's things that you can go through and different stages and modules you can go through to help you along your journey. But I'm
So
always here to
you
help.
have continued educational courses as well that you're offering.
That's right.
So how do they access that as well?
So again, through my website,
Mhm.
you'd actually have to become a client first. So I have your information if you
Right.
send it to me. But if you like, I
Mhm.
can send you a different page and shows you exactly what is covered in the course. There's like a
Right.
video and has an
Mhm.
explanation. So yeah, just go to my website or send me an email at craig@goodmoneyskills.com and I can send you those pages in which you can get those. So there's two
Excellent.
different courses. One's a mini course, kind of sort of just to get you started. The other
Mhm.
one is more comprehensive, goes into greater details in terms of budgeting, in terms of debt management, credit score, all those different things.
You deal with credit as well.
Yeah, I help
Excellent.
people sort of improve their credit and things of that nature as well. Understand the credit, understand a little bit of taxation. I'm not a tax
Mhm.
accountant, but
Right.
again, it's based on the information I know that I've used for myself. But I'm always recommending, of course, they go to see a professional that gets at those things. Even estate
Excellent.
planning, I talk about some of those things preliminary,
You
but
got really in depth.
yeah, because it's just something that I've done for so many years. I've done for myself, I've done for my family. It's enabled me to get to where I am today. So
Mhm.
all I'm doing is just sharing the knowledge and information that I have and used.
What about consumers proposal or bankruptcy situation? We have a lot of people dealing with that right now. How do you manage to deal with those clients?
Um, I guess it's sort of case by case. I really look at where they are and I'm trying to help them get establish their credit again as quickly as possible. Right. So
Mhm.
whether it be getting a secured credit card, whether it be getting like a small bank loan for maybe just $1,000 or something like that, really helping to really establish that credit as soon as possible. A lot of people, once they go through a proposal or they go through a bankruptcy, it's like
Mhm.
my life is over. You know what I mean? I have to wait 7 years and I can't do anything. Not so. Not so. There are different steps and different things you can do along the way to get you to where you need to be. And you can increase your credit score rather quickly. Yes, there's going to be that little thing on your credit saying that you did file for bankruptcy or you were in a proposal, but your credit score is not going to be in the 300s or 400s, right? We're going to get you to the 6 and 7s where you need to be. And there's still going to be some secondary lenders that will be able to give you that mortgage, that car loan, and those kinds of things. But we just got to work towards it. So I help with those things too.
Excellent, excellent. So there you go, folks. You can contact Craig at what's your email address there again, Craig? The
It's
email
Craig,
address.
Craige at goodmoneyskills.com. And my website, goodmoneyskills.com. You sign up for my weekly newsletter or just sign up for my budget, which is both free. And you can get more information because every week I'm going to give you a little tidbit on something financial, whether, any of the topics there. I'm just going to go different things. I also give about some case studies because I can say all the great things, right? Like I did this and this client did this. So I'm going to give you some actual real case studies of people that I've helped. Someone that, making good money and never been able to save. Every time they have an emergency fund, for example, they would dip into it and buy a TV. It was Black Friday, right? I had to get that TV. It was on sale. It'll never be this cheap again, right? They get the TV, they put it on the wall. It's like, this is a great TV. But now their emergency fund is empty again, right? So I kind of fixing different situation like that. Someone renting for so many years. Frank keeps talking about this, real estate thing. I love to be able to buy a real estate, but just based on my income, I can't afford to get out of rent and buy a house. I just got a call 2 months ago from a friend of mine. They now live in Alberta. And they said, you know what? I thank you, Craig, because years ago, you don't know this, but you gave me about 3 different tips that helped me to be able to save my money, establish an emergency fund, RSPs, TFSAs, and those kinds of things. And now me and my husband own a home, right?
Excellent.
Right? So I'll be able to give you.
Let me put a twist into the program for a second. What do you do with a client that you work with that just can't get it? They just can't follow your strategy. What do you do with that client?
Honestly, got to let them go.
Got to fire them. Absolutely.
Got to fire them. Sometimes you have to do that. Like, some people say like, I help everybody, right? I try my best to help everybody. That is my goal. That is my nature. That's who I am. Right. But if you're like, no, I don't want to have a budget. No, I want to be able to spend my money, work hard for my money. You should be able to spend it however I choose. I think that's a good idea, Craig, but I'm not going to do that. It's not me. It's like, you know what? I don't think we can work together because I'm giving you strategies that will help you. I'm giving you proven strategies that I've tried before for myself and many of my clients. I can do the same for you, but you have to follow the process. If you're not willing to, then unfortunately I can't work with you. Absolutely. And that's the truth. That's the truth.
Absolutely.
I'm sure you have to fire people too.
Oh, absolutely. I love firing people. I get joy in doing it.
Oh, goodness.
I get joy in doing it. It's difficult for me to see someone who have a strong desire for success or life and fail because of lack of discipline.
Yes.
And refuse to get help to overcome that lack that they have.
Yes.
Because as much Craig or any other one can teach you, even myself, about financial strategies, you have to have the discipline to follow through whatever we put in place in front of you. Absolutely. And if you don't, not only you're failing the next generation. And Craig, I have an extensive program to help you guys formulate your finances on a good, positive level. Meet him in person if you can. If you can't reach him in person and you got to do over Zoom, bring your family to the dining table.
Absolutely.
And then put the Zoom call with Craig there. So when he's talking to you guys about your finances, he's talking to the whole family. And some of you might be embarrassed or feeling shame by your situation, and some of you might be excited. And we see both. The ones who's embarrassed by the situation and the ones who's excited, they both try to hide the money from the children. And that's a very sad thing to do. Let them hear about your financial gains. Let them also hear about your financial lack. They will learn from that.
They will.
So bring Craig in front of the computer or whatever it is, and technology is so great. You can put Craig on the TV while you're doing a Zoom call these days.
Yeah, have a wide angle lens. You're
That's right.
good. You're
So
good.
bring that there, and you have that open conversation, and on your dining table among the whole family, you have the kids there. So let them understand the direction of money and how Craig is going to be helping your family. Okay.
Absolutely.
Um, Craig, over the years of doing business, or even the current, are you seeing any current trend where the business model is going, or where business is going, whether from the consumer's level or self or small business?
Yeah, there's a trend. Kind of alluded to it a little bit a while ago. Like a lot of people are alluding to just trying to hide behind the screen. A lot of companies are consolidating.
Hmm.
You know that a lot of people are being let go. I just heard RBC let go quite a few people,
Yep.
even though every quarter record profits.
Hmm.
They're consolidating. People are hiding behind computers, and of course, AI is a really, really huge factor right now. And
Hmm.
AI, I think, is also contributing to maybe people getting let go. And
Hmm.
it's something that you really have to embrace. It's not to say AI is going to take over for everything, but it's something you have to embrace to be able to use it to your advantage and figure out why. I talk to people about it all the time because it's really something we need to embrace. So I think those things are trend that I've really seen
Hmm.
over the years in terms of business and in terms of people. And I think people really more than ever are recognizing, like just regular consumers are recognizing. We've heard the term many times, multiple streams of income. We've
Hmm.
heard it since, Robert Allen, I think, coined the phrase, back in the 90s. Now people are really recognizing we need to have this because when you let go of your company from your company and you don't
Right.
have another form of income, what do you do? What happens now?
Absolutely.
Right?
Right.
But if you have an additional form of income, then you're not going to feel the bump and the challenges as much because you have something coming in. And then people are struggling. Okay, well, I heard about the multiple streams of income, but how? What do I do? And
Yeah.
that's something else that I talk to my clients about. It's like, well, first of all, I'll say, well, what are you good at? When you're talking to your friends and family, what do they say that is just easy for you, simple for you? It just kind of rolls out of you, just oozes out of you, right?
Hmm.
Maybe that particular skill or passion could be a business for you, right?
Right.
Explore it and do things. You can make money like in multi-level marketing, you can make money in trading and all these different things. The idea is what's for you, right?
Right.
And if you figure out what your passion, what's within you, what think something you've thought about for many, many years, but just haven't taken the step to really go out and do it,
Hmm.
that could be a source of revenue for you, and that source of revenue could eventually eclipse whatever you're making in your company in your job.
Excellent. And when Craig talk about finding something that you could do or something that you like to do, okay, and a lot of times when people hear business, everyone always think of income replacement or full time. And Craig, you can better explain to them. You can actually do a part time business to fill a gap of some extra
Absolutely.
investment income.
Absolutely. Many times, and let's just go back to when I'm doing the budget, right? When I'm doing the budget with a lot of clients, and then we start to, peel back different things. At the end of the day, when you actually do your expenses versus, minus your income, sometimes they have like maybe $500 left or so, right? And it's like, man, if I can make another $500, like things would be much better for me.
Hmm.
And going back to that concept of if you're be able to make a little bit of additional income from a side business, you can fill in that $500. Some people
Yeah.
think like I want to make 10,000. If I can make 10 or $20,000 a month, it's not worth
Right.
my time.
Hmm.
But everybody that's making 15, 20, $30,000 a month in their business started off with 100, 200, 500. So how
Absolutely.
is that going to adjust to your life? How's that going to help you? $500 a month is 6 grand a year.
That's correct.
For a lot of people, that's significant money. So
Yeah.
start from there, right? Part time, over the weekend, in the evenings after you come home from work, and then you build on it from there,
Right.
right?
And if you can't make that $500 or $1,000 per month part time or on the weekend, don't try to make it a full-time
No,
business.
no, no. Let there be like a concept first, right? Let there be some testing of the waters first. Like, is it a
Yeah,
good idea? It might be the greatest idea you've ever thought of,
yeah.
but will consumers think that? Will your
Right.
friends talk to your friends, talk to your family, show them what you're doing, get their
Mhm.
opinions before you just launch it, right?
And for some of those folks, Craig, who don't have no clue
Hmm.
what to do, but they're open to the idea. Do you see any small business trend or any investment trend you think they can participate in? Like, give them some ideas that you think that's working right now or easy to get involved into?
Honestly, a lot of people are thinking about even investing in the stock market, but not getting those high flyer type things. Just getting blue chip stocks that pay dividends, right?
Right.
It might not be a whole lot of money in the beginning, especially considering how much you put in,
Yeah.
but that could be a source of passive income just to begin,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
And also, even in terms of like even my cousin, like, I mean, this is a little bit different. My cousin makes a great deal of money right now just buying things on Facebook Marketplace, computers in particular, fixing them, learning how to fix them from YouTube videos, and then reselling them. He wasn't really that technical, but he learned how to do it. He likes computers and those kinds of things and
Yeah.
figures, well, how do you do this?
Hmm.
And he's making 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 a month on top of his regular day job, just doing
Nice.
this as a hobby.
Nice.
Right?
That's
So
what I'm talking about, right?
right,
Maximizing something simple. He's not a technical genius,
no,
but he can learn.
he
He's able
learned.
to go sit on YouTube and learn how to do these things.
Yeah,
And if you have a simple or basic negotiation skills, Facebook Marketplace have a lot of stuff that's there that's not selling
a lot,
that
a
you
lot.
can buy or in tough condition and you can clean it up and you can turn it over. So
Yeah.
that's a great idea.
Even something as simple, drive by any neighborhood, and you're going to see multiple cars on the driveway,
Right.
right? You know that all these cars are getting stolen all the time, right? Why are these cars not in the garage? You know why?
Why?
Because people have junk in their garage. People have too much stuff. How about going through some of your stuff and saying, I can sell some of this stuff. I haven't used this in 10 years. I didn't even know I had this. Oh my
Right.
goodness. You can sell some of these things on Facebook Marketplace, on Craigslist, on Kijiji, and that's an income you can have right then and there.
Absolutely. That's
Right?
so true. One of my turnaround or I call it junk strategy is if I don't use it in 30 days or less or more, I get rid of it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
cannot live in a junky house full of stuff.
Absolutely. And we're the same way.
Right.
We're
I
the same way. Clothes, everything.
gotta go.
We're minimalists in this house. And we
Somebody
park our cars in the garage because there's nothing in there. Right?
somebody can utilize that stuff while it's still new or fairly decent
Absolutely.
condition. Right.
Absolutely. You can give it away because obviously there's donations as well, especially for
Absolutely.
clothing and things like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things, especially older electronics. Sell it. Sell it.
Excellent. There you go.
Make
Folks,
some
we talking
income.
to Craig Campbell from the financial coach from goodmoneyskills.com. You can contact Craig to sit with you one-on-one with your family, to organize your finances from credit to debt to income to part-time business. Anything you need financially, he has the answer for. And when he doesn't have the answer, he know the professionals he can extend
Absolutely.
your reach to change your financial situation. If you haven't been doing it right in the last 5 years, you need Craig.
Yes, I can absolutely help you.
One final tip, Craig, and then we wrap this up and close this off.
One final tip. I would absolutely just say discipline and taking action. And like I said at the beginning, Parkinson's law, break Parkinson's law, right? We have to live below our means. Too many of us are spending however we feel and then worrying about it at the end of the month, right?
Mhm.
But if you have discipline to spend your money wisely, to budget wisely, and to have the ability to take action when you see a good opportunity in front of you. And I'm not just talking about me or Frank. I'm talking a good opportunity. It's a sound opportunity.
Mhm.
Don't hesitate. if it's going to make your life better, if it's going to enhance your family's finances, if it's going to help your generational wealth, because that's what you're working for,
Yeah.
then jump on it, take action on it. You're only gonna benefit from that. And I
Excellent.
think those are my biggest tips right
My
now.
final question for you, Craig.
Sure.
What is the best financial advice you've gotten over the years?
Best financial advice. Honestly, I would say don't quit when you're on the side of the mountain. Right? When you have a great idea, you're working towards it, and you're struggling. You're doing things for free. You're doing things you don't really seem to be getting the results from it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when most of us just quit. Never should have started this in the first place. But you thought about it. You talked about it. You wrote it down. You had this idea in your heart for years. Don't quit. When you get to the top of the mountain, when you've achieved the things you want to achieve, now you can say, you know what? I can retire now. I can quit now. I can know that I've done everything I needed to do to get to where I'm at. And
Right.
you're going to look back and think like, man, what if I had quit? What if I had stopped that time when I had that roadblock, that challenge, that brick wall in front of me? Don't quit. And that's all. That's been my philosophy with everything in terms of with my children, with my marriage, jobs I've had, and of course now my business and other businesses I've had. Not to quit. Not to quit when I'm on the side of the mountain.
Thank you, Craig. Thanks for coming on our show. Thank you.
No problem.
There you go, folks.
For having me.
Don't quit when you're at the side of the mountain, says Craig Campbell. Because you never know. Once you get over that mountain, what's there sitting, waiting for you? My name is Frank Corbin. Why are you Inc., Young and Rich University? Why are you not rich? Why are you not successful? What is your why factor? And these are questions you need to be asking yourself. Why did I born poor? Why did I born in poverty? Why weren't my parents rich? And if you can find the answer to your why and answer all those whys, why would I let my kids do the same thing I'm doing or did when I wasn't happy with my results? To your success. See you then.